So question, do y'all ever feel like God called y'all to be in these big places and you question like how in the world am I gonna fit into these places? Like me out of all people. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Pretty and Motivated. If you're new here, I'm Brooklyn and it's so nice to meet you. Let's talk about being an introvert and starting a YouTube channel. So question, do y'all ever feel like God called y'all to be in these big places and you question like how in the world am I gonna fit into these places? Like me out of all people. Like I'm quiet, I hate socializing, but I feel like God is like placing all these desires in my heart, and the only way I can fulfill them is if I put myself out there. I have to prep for these things, and I'm like asking God, are you for real? Like out of all people, you're choosing me to do these things? Like I want to start this business. Like you want me to start this business, you want me to put myself out there, so I'm doing it. I'm going for it. Success is on the other side of that obedience. Starting a YouTube channel can feel really intimidating, especially if you're someone who isn't naturally outgoing like myself or talkative. But what I realize is that being an introvert doesn't mean we can't share our voices or we can't be creative. Sometimes it's actually our unique perspective that makes us stand out. My hope is that if you're a fellow introvert like myself, you'll feel inspired to try something new. Step out of your comfort zone and maybe even start your own channel. So what is it really like being an introvert on YouTube? I'll be honest, it's not always easy. I do sometimes let fear of being judged, being perceived, and saying the wrong thing get in the way of me putting out content or even putting myself out there in a world full of people. It can feel exhausting, overwhelming at times, especially when you're an overthinker like myself. But the great thing about YouTube is that it allows us to connect on our own terms, at our own pace, and find our community, essentially our soul tribe. One of the things that I feel like I have to constantly remind myself when starting was that I don't need to be someone I'm not. I feel like I was creating this box that I couldn't fit into, and for what reason, I don't know what reason. Being myself, being authentic is what will actually connect me with the right people. I know for some of us, social interactions don't come naturally, and that's okay. Throughout these videos, sometimes I get overly excited and I start stuttering. Oh well, y'all get what I'm trying to say. I'm here to tell you it's possible to share your voice and ideas, even if you're not naturally loud or outgoing. The key is to stop caring. You are already doing something that most people are too afraid to do anyways. What I found really helpful is to focus on topics I'm passionate about, like living a purposeful life, mental health, being a nurse, skincare, self-growth, and self-care, etc. This kind of stuff keeps me motivated, and it takes the pressure off of feeling like I need to perform for the camera, because I mean, who wants to perform when you're doing something that you love, right? Instead, I'm here to have a real conversation with you all. Also, if you're starting a channel as an introvert, find ways to make it work with your energy levels. For an example, I set aside specific days and times to record when I feel energized so I don't end up feeling burnt out. I try not to put too much pressure on myself to be perfect. Honestly, it's okay if things aren't flawless. Progress matters more than perfection. If you're an introvert considering a YouTube channel, I encourage you to give it a try. There's a place for all kind of voices here, and there are so many people who would relate to your perspective, and you actually might be surprised by how much you enjoy it. As introverts, we tend to listen well, think deeply, and connect in a meaningful way. So rather than seeing it as a limitation, I've started to see it as a strength. My goal is to create a space where we can have real, thoughtful conversations, and I think that's something a lot of people are looking for, and I don't have a huge support system, so sometimes you have to create one. When I first thought about doing this, I felt like I had to be this super outgoing or entertaining person, but that's not really true. There is no one-size-fits-all approach to being successful on YouTube. Hell, I'm not even successful right now. I barely get views, and some people may never even view this video, or a lot of people may never view this video, but it's also nice to have a personal diary Because being true to yourself is the most important thing. And honestly, people can tell when you're being genuine. You don't have to force a bubbly personality if that's not you. I consider this like a public speaking challenge or a form of rejection therapy, like prepping me for the future that I asked God for. If you're nervous about showing your face or talking to the camera, I would say take it slow. You can start with videos that are mostly voiceovers, or you can experiment with shorter videos where you get comfortable little by little. I found that the more I practice, the easier it feels, and over time, it even becomes enjoyable. Like, I actually can't wait to create content now. Another thing that's been helpful is creating a space that feels comfortable in me when I'm recording. This could be something like setting up a cozy corner with things that make you feel calm and grounded, or having that comfort around you can help you get that experience of feeling less intimidating. I also want to mention the power of connecting with others who understand the introvert experience. There are so many introverts in this online community who are amazing at what they do. And seeing that has been really inspiring for me. There's a whole community out here that's ready to support you, and it's one of the best parts of being on YouTube. So if you're out there thinking about starting a channel but holding back because you're an introvert, remember that there is a place here for every kind of voice, especially yours. You don't need to be super outgoing to make an impact. You just need to be you, and you will find your people. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I'm excited to keep sharing, growing, and connecting with all of you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and let's keep building this community of introverts who are showing up and making their voices heard. See you in the next video, and as always, take care of yourself, stay pretty and motivated. Bye.